Hello, dreamers! I have decided to share with you my process of writing music. I started writing down my music using the computer last year. Before that, I composed music only by playing my piano and memorizing it, but finally, I decided to write my pieces like all musicians do. I'm using a free notation program called MuseScore 3. The version I'm using right now is 3.5. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to write music for piano. I will note down a part of one very old original piece I have written back in my teenage years. Up until now, I have only had an old audio record of me playing it, but the record was damaged, so I don't have the ending. At least I still have it stored in my memory. These are the topics I'm going to talk about in this tutorial. How to write and alter the notes faster using transposition and a tie, how to change the time signature, changing the tempo using the built-in piano keyboard, how to add palettes and use arpeggios, how to add new measures, and how to put dynamics and how to add a pedal. So let's start. First things first, make your notation screen comfortable for writing by zooming in. 100% is the right choice for my screen, so you can select how big you want it to be. First, I'm going to choose the type of piano for this piece. My favorite is called Ivy Audio. I'm selecting each part and I'm assigning the sound for it. In this case, I have two parts because I have more control on how loud the sound is for the melody of each hand. I explained in my first tutorial that this is something I like to do. Usually when you add the piano, the two stuffs are linked and you can alter the volume in the mixer with the master gain for both of them. You cannot separate them. By default, the notation page is full with rests for the full measure, but when we start putting the notes in the measures, they will start changing automatically. On the top left part of the screen is the menu where you can select the most common type of notes. Usually I use this method to add notes faster. When I have parts that are with the same figure, in this case for 8 notes, I just write the first one and then I copy and paste the same measure. Selecting the measure is simple, just click on the stuff between the lines. If you want to select more than one element in the program, just hold the Shift button on the keyboard and then click the desired element. To alter the notes I want, I'm using the arrows up and down on the keyboard. At the top there is the rewind to start position button and the play button. Let's hear what we've written so far. To stop, press the space key or the play button again. Using transposition and a tie. As the melody is using the same figures but in different key signatures, I'm going to use transposition to write them faster. This is a fast way to use transposition, just select the melody and use the arrows up and down on the keyboard. Adjust the tones as you need to, again using the arrows. Here I will need a tie and adding it is very easy. Select the two notes playing the same tone and then select the tie from the top menu. Let's talk about how to change the time signature. This piece has two different time signatures, so I have to select the next measure and then select the new time signature from the palettes on the left. In this case, the new one is 3/4. When I want to break the rest in a measure, like in this case when I am starting the new part with an upbeat, the fastest way to do that, this is a secret, is to write the same note to fill the measure and then delete the notes I don't need in the melody. This way I'll have the needed rests really fast and I don't have to write them manually. How to change the tempo? When I write a piece, I have an idea how fast it should sound, and this notation program the tempo can be changed anytime. I just need to add the right one. I'm using the half note as a marker. The default tempo in MuseScore when you don't choose anything is around 60 BPM for a half note. Select the half note from the tempo in the palettes, drag it and assign it to the desired note. This is where your new tempo will start. Then change the number and play the melody to see if it's by your liking. If the number is high, the melody will be played faster. This is not the usual tempo marking used in the piano scores. You can still choose the well-known markings like presto, allegro, vivace, moderato, etc. from the same palette. But personally, I prefer to choose the number method as it is more precise this way. Using the built-in piano keyboard. I don't have a piano in front of me right now, but there is a built-in piano keyboard in MuseScore. You can open it from the main menu, View, Piano Keyboard. I need it because I'm not sure about the exact notes in this chord and I need to see the keys. Sometimes I memorize the position of my hand on the keyboard, like in this case, and it will be easier to find the correct notes that way. When you select the chord, you can see the exact keys on the keyboard marked with another color. How to add palettes and use arpeggios. In this measure, I want to add an arpeggio. This means the notes in the chord must be played with a little delay, one after another, not at the same time. The arpeggios are included in the palettes, but right now I don't have it in my palette menu, so I'm going to add it first. In every palette you can find a lot of symbols. The most common are seen in the default view, but you can always see the rest by clicking on the More button in every collection. On the top left you can click the Add Palette button. Here you can find the missing palettes. You need the arpeggios, so you click on the Add button. Now you have it in the main collection at the top and can finally add it to the chord. Then select the chord and in this case the down arpeggio sign because we want to play this chord from the top to the bottom note. How to add new measures. As you can see, more measures are needed. To add measures is very easy. Simply right-click on the measure where you want to add more measures and select Add, then Insert Measures. In this window you can add the exact number of measures needed. I'm not sure how many I'll need, so I'm going to put 60. Later I can always add more or delete the unnecessary ones. How to put dynamics and how to add a pedal. I didn't put any dynamics till now. Usually the melody played by default is in mezzo forte. When you add a dynamic symbol from the dynamic palette, you can assign it to only one staff or to both of the staffs. if you have two steps for the same instrument like piano. In order to do that, select the symbol, then go to the inspector and in the dynamic range select the desired option from the drop-down menu. Now let's add the pedal. This is the so-called sustain pedal. This is the most commonly used pedal in a modern piano. It is typically the rightmost of two or three pedals. When pressed, the sustain pedal sustains all the damped strings on the piano by moving all the dampers away from the strings and allowing them to vibrate freely. All notes played will continue to sound until the vibration naturally ceases or until the pedal is released. The default marking the piano notes is with letters, but in MuseScore you can find it written in another way with lines. The default symbols are also included in the lines palette. Usually when you select a measure and click on the line, the pedal is added to the measure. You can also select a range from one note to another in one or more measures and add the line of the pedal between them. You're probably wondering why I deleted the chord in the second measure. Well, the thing is, when I put an arpeggio and then a tie, the arpeggio for some reason doesn't sound like before, it's lost. This is a bug in the program. So in this case, I prefer to make the pedal larger, as we'll hear the notes till the end of the line, and to be able to hear the arpeggio as well. In the default piano notation, this isn't necessary. I'm writing my music in MuseScore with the purpose to make an audio file from it. That's why I'm using this method. These are the basics you need in order to write a piece for Piano MuseScore 3. I don't know, I probably missed something, but well, I cannot remember everything every time, so if there is something I missed, maybe I can add it next time, right? So next time I will show you how I add strings to my piano compositions to make them sound richer. I hope that this tutorial was useful and see you next time.